Coming up, regional leaders prepare for an official meeting with the President of the United States.
The AG's office still probing the alleged bribery at BEC.
And the viral video suspect makes his first appearance in court today. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
United States President Barack Obama in Panama tonight, preparing to meet with regional leaders at the 7th Annual Summit of the Americas this weekend. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders.
And I'm Charisma Robinson. But before landing in Panama, President Obama stopped on the island of Jamaica, where he was greeted by Jamaican Prime Minister the Honorable Portia Simpson Miller and CARICOM Chairman Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie.
We continue our team coverage of this week's U.S. CARICOM Summit with Clint Watson on the Prime Minister's address in Jamaica today.
Chairman of CARICOM Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie was clear that the mission of the CARICOM U.S. Summit is to make lives of the people of the region better. Critical to this is a focus on securing a bright future for young people.
They are the future of this region. I speak on behalf of us all when I say there is no more compelling a mission than we have today than to help secure their future, to dispel their sense of hopelessness, to fix the joblessness, to ensure that they get a good education, to help them become a part of the formal economies of our countries. We cannot surrender them to the negative forces of crime and war in far-flung climes. If this meeting produces anything today, it must be to ensure the future of our young people. If we fail in that mission, we do so at our peril.
It is no surprise crime remains a challenge for the Bahamas and the region. But Mr. Christie is of the view discussion could positively impact this menace. He welcomed further interaction of the U.S. in security.
In my own country, as the closest offshore country to the United States of America, the benefits of security cooperation are obvious to our people. The fight against transnational crime, including illegal migration, is urgent. The importation of guns from America wreaks havoc and needs to be stopped. That is but one country's example of the sense of urgency we feel on crime and security across the region. More must be done in a practical way to stop the crime. Let us work together to build a zone of peace, to stop crime, to end violence, promote our young, and ensure our common futures.
In this connection, Mr. Christie also welcomed the recent development toward the settlement of the nuclear framework agreement with Iran, in which the United States played a major role under the leadership of President Obama.
Mr. President, as small states, we have long recognized the value of pooling our resources. We have adjusted our priorities to rebound from the crisis of 2008. However, it is clear that the magnitude of the issues often overwhelms the resources which CARICOM can collectively bring to bear. We are dedicated to building the competitiveness which would serve to assist us in maintaining the progress we have made in the areas of human and social development, while providing much needed jobs, particularly for our youth. That is where our partnership with your country is critical.
The Prime Minister Christie said the outcome of the discussions will no doubt strengthen the partnership between the Caribbean and the United States. He made a request to build on these discussions and ensure that they become a part of the continuing conversation leading to concrete actions. In Kingston, Jamaica, Clint Watson for ZNS Network News.
President Obama outlined a number of issues he would like to discuss at this weekend's summit. Oprah Roach has that angle of our coverage.
U.S. President Barack Obama addressing regional leaders here at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies. He talked about a number of the issues to be discussed at the Summit of the Americas in Panama City tomorrow.
Making sure that we deepen our cooperation in economic growth and how we can further integrate the region. making sure that our governments are open and transparent in upholding human rights for all citizens, combating transnational crime through our Caribbean Basin Security Initiative. And a particular focus today is going to be one of the greatest barriers to development in the Caribbean, and that is expensive, often unreliable, and carbon-intensive energy.
Now, reducing the cost of energy in the region is also a big concern. President Obama made an announcement.
Vice President hosted a summit on this in January. Our Caribbean Energy Security Initiative aims to help move the region towards cleaner, more affordable energy. Today we're announcing new partnerships, including a new fund to mobilize private investment in clean energy projects in the Caribbean and in Central America. And I'm confident that given the commitment of the CARICOM countries and the U.S. commitment, that this is an issue in which we can make great strides over the short term and even greater strides over the long term.
Youth development is also a priority issue for the U.S. and the Caribbean.
Wherever we are able to harness the spirit and innovation and boldness of our youth and channel that in a positive direction, those countries succeed and our futures will be bright. And that is true here in the Caribbean and throughout the Americas. And so I'm very much looking forward to a town hall meeting I'll be hosting in which young leaders from all your countries will attend. But more importantly, we're going to be very interested in building some concrete programs that give them the kind of education and training that will ultimately help to benefit not only your countries, but will benefit the world.
In Kingston, Jamaica, covering the USA CARICOM Summit, I'm Opal Roach, ZNS Network News.
Opal, thanks a lot. On to other news now. Bahamians are eagerly awaiting answers to those allegations that a former board member of the Bahamas Electricity Corporation accepted $325,000 in bribe money to swing contracts to French company Alstom SA, and Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson says those answers will come. The U.S. Department of Justice reported in December that the time period would have been between 1999 and 2003. The board member was never identified. Government has since requested details on the matter from the United States, but Maynard Gibson would not say if that had been provided as yet. She says government wants to ensure the public of its commitment to accountability and transparency in this matter. The Attorney General says answers will be revealed at the appropriate time and after a thorough process.
That means that the process will be every step, as advised by the professionals in this office, will be meticulously followed. And when my professionals in here advise me that we have completed the process, at that time something will be said, not before. We believe that the Bahamian people expect us to meticulously follow the process and to announce the outcome of that process at the end of the day.
Police have wasted no time in charging a 35-year-old man in connection with a video assault that went viral over the weekend.
Current Carey tells us that the accused is facing 2 criminal charges in connection with that incident.
35-year-old Brent McPhee was arraigned before Magistrate Andrew Forbes on charges of assault with a deadly weapon and threats of death. McPhee is accused of threatening to kill Arthur Buchanan and assaulting him with a knife back on Sunday, April 4th. Allegations he denied. The charges are connected to a video that went viral showing a confrontation between 2 men. In court, Prosecuting Sergeant Audrey DeVoe objected to bail on the grounds that investigations into the matter are still ongoing and, if released, McPhee may interfere with witnesses. She also indicated that police intend to file additional charges against McPhee, and other suspects may also be arraigned in connection with the incident. As a result of her objections, McPhee was remanded to the Department of Corrections. But that did not sit well with his attorney Ian Coggle, who suggested that the 35-year-old be granted bail with reporting conditions. He noted that the accused is employed and a new father. In the end, the court adjourned the matter to April 16th for a bail hearing. Frank Carey, ZNS Network News.
Officials from the Royal Bahamas Police Force were expected to question Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources V. Alfred Gray today as a part of their investigation into a claim of judicial interference involving a case in Mayaguana last month. However, we understand from police sources the questioning did not take place. The Free National Movement has repeatedly called for Minister Gray to resign because of the allegation. He has since been relieved of his local government portfolio. Minister Gray maintains his innocence and insists that at the end of the day, he will be vindicated.
The grave site of a loved one interrupted and the Major family wants some answers. Stay tuned to the ZNS News Network. We'll bring you all the details.
And health officials look to cut down sexually transmitted diseases. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
The news is brought to you by the new Shell and Let It, designed for extra miles.